Hi, my name is Jack Whistler,
And my name's Will Reardon.
and we're here to review the last Palatine boys varsity basketball game on December 1st against the Conant High School. It was a pretty fun game, wouldn't you say, Will?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun at the game, honestly. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Conant was going to, take control, but Palatine made it a good game.
I mean, Conant Conant did make it to sectional last year, but lost to Fremd, obviously.
That's true.
And I think a lot of people thought Conant was going to control the game, play through their star Ryan Davis, who's headed to Vermont next year, which is a great Division I program. And I think people thought that Conant was just going to take over and destroy Palatine, but that didn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I agree. I think Palatine's defense, they did a great job shutting down Ryan Davis. Double teaming him in the paint. He wasn't able to get the shots that he usually does, and when he missed his shots, we were quick to get the defensive rebound. So I think that's really what was the deciding factor in the game, was he just couldn't get his shots.
The game started a little sloppy for both teams, though. Obviously, when you look at the halftime score and it was only 13-9, that was a little shocking.
Yeah.
A lot of turnovers by both teams, too. And even missed free throws, which you don't see a lot at the varsity level.
No, I agree. I think, what was it, after the first quarter, there was a combined of 6 points, I think.
It was something very low scoring, but just something you don't see from two teams that have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
And then after halftime, I think Palatine made some great adjustments, learned how to just play their offense, even with Ryan Davis controlling the paint. And they started the third quarter on a 9-0 run and just never really slowed down after that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what Coach Millstone told him at halftime, but I think they came out. The second half looked a lot more smooth than the first half did. I think in the first half, Conant came out, that first possession. I mean, they were all over the place. I mean, they were all over Palatine on defense. I think Palatine was a little shocked at first. They were a little unprepared, if I'm going to be honest. But I think second half, Palatine really just figured out what they needed to do, and they came out, they weren't scared. They just played their game.
And an awesome night for Cortez Hogans. Even though he's playing football in college, he looked like he could play basketball at the top level.
Definitely.
He had 19 points and 13 rebounds, according to the Daily Herald. And, I mean, that's kind of crazy because he out-rebounded Ryan Davis, who's a 6'8" Division I basketball player.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a great performance. And Johnny O'Shea threw in 10 points as well, and Lehman had 6, so.
That's just a great all-around effort from the Pirates. And I think, at the end of the day, Conant obviously had the best player on the floor with Davis, but then Palatine's depth just kind of killed them. I mean, Johnny, Lehman, Cortez, Jake, Storm. I think
Yeah.
just a lot of people chipped in, and they did, like, Conant could only go through Davis. Like, their other players just weren't playing great.
Yeah, I mean, they had a couple, good three-ball shooters, but I think getting Jake back, after an injury, him coming back, obviously not starting, but helping out defensively, scoring a couple points, I think it really helped them, and I think it really got them excited to be playing again because they have their original starting five again now.
Yeah, I agree. And what's crazy is the Cougars only had two other players besides Davis score, and that's just not going to win you ball games in the end because you need everyone to chip in.
No, yeah, I agree, not at all. I mean, when you have 3 people scoring all your points on a single team, I mean, it's really not a team effort whatsoever at that point. If you just got to find the right guy to shut down, and then their team can't function.
And you could tell Davis was frustrated because if his look wasn't there, he'd kick out for 3, and their other shooters just weren't getting anything to fall. So I think Davis was trying to get his other guys going, but they just didn't have anything.
Exactly, and if I'm going to be honest, I do think the student section rattled him a little bit. I think he was getting a little frustrated with what some of the kids were saying to him.
The Red Riders were definitely in his head.
They showed out that night. They were in
yes,
attendance.
I think he looked very angry after every missed shot he had, which, I mean, you don't think a star player at his caliber would let fans get to his head, but he definitely did that night.
Oh, definitely. I mean, someone who's playing Division I basketball, you think that he, would have gotten past that point of thinking about what people in the stands are saying to him,
And then, obviously, after we said Palatine took that 13-9 lead and extended it to 22-9, they never slowed down after that, and the final score ended up being 45-31. and that's just a great win for the Pirates to open the MSL play.
Totally. I mean, that's what they needed to start their season in their conference. A win like that against a team who, had a good run last year, had an even better run the year before. I mean, Jimmy Sotos, obviously didn't have him this year, but still, I mean, that's huge for a team's confidence. I mean, once, Palatine pulled away, I mean, there was no chance Conant was going to come back.
I think Davis is still adjusting to the life after Sotos, because last year teams would just game plan defensively for Sotos, and now they're just game planning for Davis and just trying to shut him down in the post.
Exactly, and Davis also had a great team around him last year too. I mean, there was a lot of great players.
What's crazy is, though, that even though we're talking about this not very good night that Davis had, shooting 5 of 18, he still ended up with 19 points and 10 rebounds, which is an awesome stat line.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy having that stat line in a Park District basketball game on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
But to be realistic, I mean, the guy did 10 of those points were all free throws. He also went like 10 for 15 from the line. So I think you take away some of those. I mean, the guy's got 13, 14 points on the night when he's usually averaging way more than that.
It's still a very solid showing, in my opinion. And I think next time these two teams meet, Conant might have a little bit of a different game plan ready, and I think it's going to be a great matchup to see again.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Palatine really showed out defensively, and it really proved what they can do on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's enough for our opinion. Now let's go to our interview with one of the star players on the Palatine Pirates, Johnny O'Shea. We're here with star Palatine basketball player Johnny O'Shea. So, Johnny, what was your thought process heading into this game?
We knew Ryan Davis is a huge factor for Conant, so we know we were going to have to, defend the lane, defend as a team. All 5 players are going to have to defend, and then, close out the shooters, and executed really well for us, and yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job of executing the game plan for sure. So Ryan Davis, obviously a great player, and you've been on varsity as a sophomore, so you played against a lot of great competition. Where do you think he ranks
Amongst all those players?
Amongst all the players you played against.
I guess playing against all of them, obviously they're all really good talents, talent-wise, and I just try to, have a great attitude every game and bring the energy every game. So, talent-wise, I'm not ranking myself that high, but for, energy or leadership, I'd rank myself, pretty high because I think that's important in the game.
Where do you rank Ryan Davis in?
Ryan Davis is definitely up there as probably our number 1 or 2 in the league because, he's just a huge body. Didn't play his best game against us, but still scored 19. That just shows how great of a player he is. Yeah.
All right, Johnny, here's a question for you. Rumors have it that you're ditching the one leg sleeve next game. What are your thoughts on that?
It's not a rumor, it's the truth.
That's sad. I think you played very well with the leg sleeve.
I would have to second that.
Got the win against
Maybe
Conant.
I think we're just going to try it out with no leg sleeve, see how I play. And, maybe it'll make a return after that one. But, we got to test it out.
Is it a mental thing, or is it a body thing where you just feel uncomfortable with it?
It's sort of an uncomfortable thing. I guess maybe a little of both. Thought maybe I'd be looking a little cool this year with it, but, after I've worn a little bit, it gets really sweaty, really gross, kind of uncomfortable. And I haven't been shooting as well with it, so, maybe take it off. Maybe I'll play a little better, maybe shoot a little better.
You know what they say, though? I guess if you stick with it, if you look good, you play good.
Hey, that's what I was hoping for, William.
Understandable. And our last question is, obviously this Friday is a game against your rival across town, Fremd Vikings. How do you look to prepare for that game?
Fremd is always a superb team, and, they play great defense, great offense, great everything. But we know as an MSL rivalry game, we're just going to have to bring it. We're going to have to bring it toughness, everything, Hopefully get at them. Hopefully we can pull this out for a win.
They lost 4 starters from last year's team. That's a big difference from last year's team to this year's team. Obviously Ryan Martin is still on the team. We know you're looking to shut him down.
We'll be looking forward to that game on Friday and hope to see you guys there. So thanks, Johnny, for the interview. See you guys later.
Thanks, guys.